So you want to be a writer, right? It's an awesome goal, but here's the thing. Turning that passion into a paycheck takes a whole lot more than just loving words. In this explainer, we're going to lay out the exact roadmap, a clear path to becoming a successful content writer. Okay, let's just jump right in. Now, I know what you're thinking. That sounds a little harsh, doesn't it? But honestly, this is probably the most important lesson any new writer can learn. So many talented people get stuck because they think being a good writer is the finish line. But it's not. It's just the starting block. That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Well, the answer isn't just raw talent. It's about having a full toolkit of skills that people will actually pay you for. And that's exactly what we're going to do here. We're going to build that toolkit together, piece by piece, so you have a super clear path forward. All right, before we start grabbing our tools, we really need to understand the game we're about to play, you know? Success starts with really getting what content even is and why it matters so much in the first place. And here is the absolute key. Content isn't just writing pretty sentences for fun. It is a marketing tool. The whole goal is to create stuff that's so genuinely helpful and useful that people start to trust the brand behind it. And that trust, well, that's what eventually turns readers into customers. It's all about building authority by providing real value. And look at the sheer variety here. It's kind of wild, right? This is what makes the job so interesting. I mean, think about it. The casual, chatty tone you'd use for a blog post is completely different from the buttoned-up, formal language of a press release. The writers who really crush it, they're like chameleons. They can adapt their style to any format. And that versatility, that's your golden ticket to getting hired. Okay, so we get the what and the why. Now it's time to actually build your personal toolkit. Let's think of these as the absolute must-haves you'll need to handle any writing job that comes your way. Seriously, these are the non-negotiables. You just gotta have them. Why? Because clean grammar builds trust. Great research means your work actually has substance. And hitting deadlines, well, that's how you keep clients happy and, get paid. But that last one, creativity, that's the secret sauce. That's what lets you take a potentially boring topic and make it something people actually want to read. Now, this right here, this is where you level up from being a good writer to being a highly valuable one. You're not just a wordsmith anymore. You're part marketer, part tech whiz. You don't need to be a coding genius, but knowing enough SEO to get your article seen on Google or enough HTML to fix a weird formatting glitch, that can literally make you twice as valuable to a client. Okay, your toolkit is starting to fill up. You've got the skills. Now for the most important part. How do you turn all of this into actual paying work? Let's break down the game plan for landing your very first gig. When you're just starting out, these are basically your three main doors into the industry. Content services are great because they act as the middleman. They find the clients for you. Job boards are more like a classic job search, and marketplaces are where you build a profile to attract clients directly. Honestly, most successful freelancers use a mix of all three to keep the work flowing. Finding work is one thing, but keeping it, building a great reputation, that's a whole other ballgame. And that all comes down to truly mastering the craft. These are the principles that separate pretty good content from unforgettable content. I want you to think of these principles as a promise you make to your reader. That killer headline makes a promise, and the rest of the piece has to deliver on it. You earn trust by giving real value without making people work hard to understand it. That's why simple, clear language always wins. The goal isn't to sound smart, it's to make your reader feel smart. Let me tell you, great writing is almost always born in the editing phase. And this 3-round process, it's a lifesaver. Notice how you're not trying to fix everything all at once. First, you check the big picture, the flow. Then you zoom in on the nitty-gritty details like typos and grammar. And that final read is your last quality check. This kind of discipline is what separates the pros from the amateurs. All right, we've covered the skills, the jobs, and the craft. But there's one last piece of the puzzle. And you could argue it's the most important one of all if you want to build a long and successful career. It is so crucial to understand this distinction. Mastering different styles makes you a capable technician. It makes you hireable. But finding your voice, that's what makes you an artist. It's your unique personality, your perspective, that special something that makes a client say, I don't just want a writer, I want you to write this. It's your identity. And this should be so empowering. Don't ever let yourself think that everything's already been said. It's easy to feel that way with so much content out there, but no one, literally no one on earth, has your exact perspective or your unique voice. Your originality is your greatest asset. So there you have it. The path is laid out. It takes more than just skill. It takes a whole toolkit of strategy, craft, and technical know-how. But most of all, it takes you. The question is no longer how to become a writer. The question is, with these tools in your hand, what story will you choose to tell? Now go get started.